A few months ago, I released a video where I rated my top 150 Love Live songs. Following that, I asked the viewers to pick their top 10 favorite Love Live songs created over the 10 years of Love Live. The 10th anniversary of the announcement will happen on June 30th of 2020, so I thought this was a good time to see what have been the best songs that came out since then. Love Live has come so far since this announcement. This poll expresses the opinions of the viewers and not me. I use this system to assign points where first place would get 100 points while 10th place would get 25. I scaled this way so that first place would get 4 times more than the first place. Originally I had scaled it where first place got 10 and then 10th place got 1, but that means first place is 10 times more significant, which I don't think that is the best way to measure it. I reflected it in a way I think it's better because there are over 270 songs now. I don't think 10th is that much worse than first place. So that way, I'm trying to make it so 10th place is a little bit more significant and not as useless. I did limit the song choices just to 10 because doing a lot more would really discourage a lot of other people from voting. It's not a perfect system. The most perfect system would have everyone rate every single song, but unfortunately that's relatively impossible. So I think this is a good medium to figure out what people think about most songs. Before we finish this long spiel, I want to tell you that the newest song that was included in this poll was a song for You, as well as the song in that album Natem Shimata. That was going to come out in March, and this thing started around in February, but we already had a preview of it, so people could get a pretty accurate depiction on what they thought about the song. Not perfect, but of course people can change their opinions later in this poll. All the songs that did come out after the poll were of course not included in this poll because they weren't going to be a part of most people's decisions because we didn't know they were going to come out. We didn't know name, and nor did we know what it's going to sound like. And for a lot of people, they did not come back to the polls, so it felt almost kind of pointless to put in there. I did not want to get a relatively inaccurate depiction of what people think about the song because just a lack of time. So some example of the songs that were not included that came after the poll would be songs like Saizelia Kiss's song. And we also have the Fantastic Departure, which is going to be part of the Dome tour. And then we have, as well as Aqua's Pirate Desire, which is also a part of that. And we also have Saints No first single, which has, I believe, 3 songs. And of course we have the new Nichigaku songs, which would include the Kasumi single, which has 2 songs in there. And of course we have the third album, which will have 12 songs. And technically we still don't know all of them yet, but we do know some of them. But of course none of these were included, just so you guys know if you're wondering why weren't these songs included here at all, because they didn't exist back then. Anyways, that all the way, let's go over the top 100 Love Live songs over the 10 years of Love Live. Each song will last 20 seconds, and the information of the song will be on the screen.
何か来たね、こんな遠いところまで。ああ、投げ出したい時こそ大きく変わる時さ。最上級レベルの笑顔で今日もレッツゴー。宿敵ライバル完璧な対策。ああ、左輝く未来にキュンと。風がさらう落ち葉を見守る夜の光。あなたは私の今未来、あなたにある願いが弾ける。君とあの子と私の事情、平和的解決は無理なのかな。誰にも傷ついた All night I know 夜空に光る星が3つ。楽しいね、こんな夢笑顔で喜び歌おう。サニーデイソンサニーデイソン、高く飛び上がれ。そんな思いついたことがあるから早く。今日はどんな日かな。あ、絶対でここまで来ても答えがわからない迷いの。それでもゴートゥは止められない出口の。何か始まるってことが終わりにつながるだなんて。いつだってあなたは道子だった。わざわざ気持ちを確かめる。海辺の空が光って突然雲が流れ。風が呼んでる気が騒いだ。桜色踊る日。One day in the rain, one day in the shine。 流れる想いよきっと歌に呼ばれて。光あふれる街はカニバに踊り出す交差点でみんな踊ろうかな。ハロー星を数えてこれから出会うことを。Oh yeah。 苦しなまでのバーン、死なれてないよのバーン。目指す場所は高い今より高く。壁ははいはいはい壊せるものさ。倒せる波と終わりの線など引けないよ。いつの間にかこの足りこと足りないのいだった。それならば増やしましょう。おっとっと大ってどこから始まった思い出探るけどあの時かな。何かが足りないそう思った時は暗い階段見てごらん。私の影があなたの夢を飲み込みたがる。 ちはそうだなそうだな無謀な夢から始まって奇跡のように今年の夏の匂いいつもとは違うみたい今年の夏次に始まる夢は何でしょう知らない切なさの予感怖いけど熱くさせてよこの体を Alright足りないわボリューム上げて高鳴り合います誰かのシナリオ Dreaming Future No more dream No more dream Clash Mind 答えは今が壊れた後で眠れない今夜は眠れない思いがずっと優しくなれなかったの涙のなんだか眠れない今夜は眠れない思いが光になろう未来を照らしたい夢が生まれ夢のために泣いた時憧れ抱きしめて次へ進む船が行くよ未来へ旅立つ Welcome Song 一つになる心だから不思議たくさんみたいね君と一緒に感じたいそんなねだってパーティー終わらないだってパーティー終わらないまだまだ帰り道いつも通り歩いてた夢の世界へ連れてくよ心から笑ってなぜか見えた明日のときめきどうしようかな捕まえて夏のせいだよワンツーじゃん怒りのシャワー弾ける気持ちがいいいつ間違い不思議な偶然を招いダンシングスタートに手を伸ばしたらもっともっと踊らせてみんな一からその先へみんなと共にその先の一つ一つの思い出だ会いたくなったら目を閉じてみんな止まらない止まらない思いを伝えることって難しいだけど精一杯いつか姿を見せる日が来たら The End楽しくなれその場限りでも確かな今よりも新しい夢捕まえた捉えなくていいんだわかるから胸に描く瞳に青い炎強がる君ずっと大好き大好き大好き大好きもっと何か探してトントンそっとへ行くんだ夢を語る言葉より夢を語る歌にしよう生まれたのはときめき惹かれたのはワクワク叶えるストーリーどうなるかは僕ら次第どこに行こうかどこでもときめ愛せ恋に愛しだケースをはっきりと決めないのね笑いながらごまかすに重ないシャッター二人だけの世界へおかわいい思いが届かないって悩むのは苦しい答えはいつだって正しく思いが届かないって悩むのは苦しいだんだん心だんだん熱く夢いっぱい叶えてみせ大事なことはなんだっけ知恵からのワンダフルラッシュみんな幸せになるため万全掲げ登場見て優しげな言葉ささやく店の会話私は誰でしょ知りたくなったでしょ Don't worry 今から挑戦者 Don't worry Don't worry I want to go 言っちゃうかい愛なんて欲しくないと言っちゃったねそれは Don't worry Don't worry 今から挑戦者 Don't worry Don't worry I want おいでおいで誘惑のダンスゲーおいでよおいでかぐやの城へ私は赤いバラの姫よ優しくさらわれいつも追いかけていた届き本当は持ってたんだよみんな持ってたできない無理だ無理だあの頃諦めたことここ天才的なやったくれ夢見たんだ高いと座しじゃ進めない恥ずかしいつながるはずと信じたら僕たちは巡り合うねもね僕は君を見てる君の目に最高だと言われたいよ真剣だよ We gotta go 夢 自分を信じてみんなを信じて夢の扉誰もが探してるよ今はスターなんですものランナーウェイだランナーウェイだものなんで突然ランナーウェイだランナーウェイだいきなりありがとうって思う暇がないほどびっくりしたままでもしかして本当の私はここの世で誰かの声が聞こえる優しいその声で憧れの踊りだってきっとそのに本当の気持ちたまにわからなくなる今憧れの踊りだってきっとそのに始まる時は終わりのことなど言葉っていくつも知ってるはずでもこんな時出てこ世界はきっと知らないパワーで輝いてる見たことない夢の人シャイニング走り出すこの気持ちいつもの世界が新しい声始めたいマイストーリーまっすぐな想いがみんなを結ぶ詩だけじゃない試されるだろうだってそれぞれが好きなことで頑張れるなら始まりですか誰も気づかない生まれ変わる恋のためにちょっと瞬情夢見てひらひら私の中のどこへ行っても忘れないよ Brothers Man いつまでもここにいたいみんなの想いは別れ繰り返すってことがキラキラ光る夢が僕らのなんでもないような毎日でもきっかけ一つあった始まるマジックみんなでマジック見つめてよ見つめないで心が叫んでる知りたくはなかったその優しさとぬくもり私見つめてよ見つめないで心が叫んでる定めにせかされて抱きしめ合う情この世界は悲しいどこから来たのずっと遠くから答えて胸に確かなもの持ってたらそれだけでなんとかなるってそう今だからそう今僕らわかる Thank you friends 会えてよかったな会えてよかったな夢の誰を語るメーカーと僕を探してる時寂しくなる私秘密のブランコあなたと揺れながら今最近 まで昨日と違うよ明日やめたくなかった気持ちの先に広がる My new one 新しい場所探す時が来たよいつもそばにいても伝えきれない思い出心どんな未来かは誰もまだ知らないでも一つの存在とは限らないこの大突世界を渡るには力を合わせなきゃゆらゆら揺れながら真珠の時計君と私を夢に誘い込むのアクアリウムで二人が出会う想いよ一つになれ気づくと重なり合うよ一想いよ一つになれどこにいても思い込みただしなさいなんて言わないわ好きなこと最近は闇涙が頭の中ピカピカにつく開いた花の香りかな受け取った思いを乗せてハッピーハッピートレインと明日が私たち輝きたいライトライトライトがっかりはしたくないって何を守るつもりさ落ち込んでもいい止まらないよ止まらないよ溢れそうな想いは世界中で君はいつも恐れてる微笑みながら嫌われたく壊れるものは守らなくては今小さく燃えてるまだ小さな炎が火踊れ踊れ熱くなるため人は新しくなれ動き出した未来また始まるこれからもっともっと夢の形変わるんだこれから待ってないよ見つけた君は寂しい人みたいだ鼓動が鳴ってる恋の輪から始まりたいここはどこまで言わないで分かってる夢に青信号は欲しくないのさもっとが過ぎエンジェル気配が消えた私の呼吸が荒く激しくたどる手が光と闇のページ黒い扉の向こう愛してる万歳ここでよかった私たちの笑ってよ悲しいなら吹き飛ばそうよ笑えたらさあ大好きな万歳負けない勇気 ちまるで裏切るように過ご走り出した想いは強くするよありがとう君にありがとう君に君がいて僕がいるよ諦めない限り奇跡は何度でもこれからよチュンチュンラブアローシュートきっと一人じゃない夢の中へ GO 迷いながら Ready GO やっとね気がついたみたいあなたの中の消えない光 Dance 止まらないよ Don't believe Again 全てを抱きし誰に希望はここから生まれここで痛みが嘆きが君の夢不思議だね今の気持ち空から降る届けて切なさには名前ああほのかな予感から始まりあの小鳥の翼がついに大きくなる
So that is the top 100 Love Live songs as voted by my viewers, which was about 640 of them. So of course Bokutachi wa Hitasu ends up winning, but actually just barely beat out Snow Halation. Songs like Meccha Going, which I tend to like, or as well as Jingle Bells, Ga Tomaranai, didn't really do so well or didn't even show up on the list here. But if you're wondering what songs barely did not just make the cut, here is the list. I was kind of disappointed not seeing Torikoriko Please make it, and even Jingle Bells didn't even make the honorable mentions list either. So of course my opinions vary differently with a lot of other people here. So this is the full list. If you want the full list, you can go click a link in the description to my Google Sheet, which has all the songs and it has the point values. It shows the number of times that something received a certain place, so you can see all the songs here. If you want to know what the current worst songs, or it's these 4 songs, none of them even still receiving the single vote despite having 640 votes. Those are a lot of them are Guided Fate Paradox songs, which I'll talk about maybe at some point in the future, but it's a collaboration, so not too many people know about it at all, so people won't vote for it. So here is a little look at all of the demographics. We will talk about it a little bit more soon, but this is just a good view of what was there. If you want to know who else was in your country to vote, it was there. Of course, I'm down by the US, and then a lot of the watchers are going to be 15 to 20-year-olds. So this is just an idea of the demographics of some viewers. With that, I got the top 50 songs from each major demographic here. So let's take a look at it. So all the way on the left, we have United States 1 through 50. Things that I highlighted in yellow did significantly better in this section, while red did significantly worse. So I'm going to be focusing primarily on what I saw did a lot better and what did a lot worse. And the rest, you know, if it wasn't very too much, it's not a big deal, but it's there for you to look if you're interested and if you want to see, oh, where did the song show up. So let's start with the United States here. So the only one I noticed that was very noticeable was Karasu no Hanzono. So in the parentheses I put the placing of where it actually should be, which is 24th. That's the actual overall placing, but here you see it did much better. Now, how many placings would signify me highlighting them? It depends. If it's higher up, it's less placings, like anything like 10 plus would generally I would pick that up. If it was in the middle, it would probably be closer to 30 plus placing differences, and then the bottom like 40, maybe 50 plus here. So just for United States, that's the only major one I noticed. That varies different from the average. For males, I didn't notice anything too significant of a difference. Same thing with females. Yes, their placings change around, but if it's only 5 or so, that's not that important for me to tell you. But it's there for you to look at if you're interested. And let's go into the age group. So for 10 to 14, I did put Snow Halation and I highlighted that red because it was second place, but it almost got first place here. But it dropped to 5 for a song that was really killing it. It's actually a pretty noticeable and a big drop here. Even though yes, it's only a few places, I think that's pretty noteworthy. So I did highlight that because apparently younger people don't like it as much. They still do like it a lot. It's a really good song, obviously, but I think it was noticeable that it did do so well. Now next we had Owari, which apparently a lot of younger people like that one a lot as it got a pretty significant bump up. Same thing with Supernova, did really well as well as Beat and Angel. And following that we have Starlight. We also have Amazing Travel DNA, which increased by a whole 60 places here. But then we also, surprisingly, we had Korewa Yasuki drop a good amount here, as well as Omoyo Hitosu Nirare and Psychic Fire, which I thought all of those would have done a lot better. Maybe not so much for Omoyo Hitosu Nirare, but I figured Psychic Fire and Korewa Yasuki would really mix well with 10 to 14 year olds, but I guess not. But it's kind of odd because that's kind of more like a Starlight and Supernova kind of song, so I figured that would mesh well with them. But who knows? Owari was definitely a big surprise. And lastly, we actually got Anata no Rizo no Hiroin, so I don't know, maybe 10 to 14 year olds seem to really like Shizuku a lot as they got major bumps up in this. 15 and 20 year olds, they dominate the poll here, so it's going to be pretty hard for him to stray from the average here, so nothing special here. For the older watchers, 21 plus, we had Azura Jumping Heart, which of course is the first opening for Sunshine. Did a decent amount better here, going up pretty high here. We have Jump Up High moving up 40, which is also pretty good. But then we had Aichiteru Banzai dropping a good amount here, which I found out kind of shocking. I thought older people would appreciate that more, but I guess I'm wrong. And we had No Brand Girls dropping up a lot of places, which moving up the list pretty high here. And then we had Guilty Farewell Party moving about 60 whole places here, which is really significant. And then we had In This Unstable World dropping a lot, which I would imagine older people wouldn't appreciate the song as much. So yeah, most of this makes sense to me. Now we have Asian countries, so I grouped all the countries in Asia. We had Kiseki Hikaru moving up a whole 70 places, which is really shocking. I didn't know if people care that much about that song. Yes, it's in the movie and it has a very emotional moment, but as a song, I personally don't find it that exciting, but it's good for it. It did pretty well here. And we had Natsuiro Egade 1-2 Jump moving up a good amount of spots as well. And we had the second ending for Sunshine with Yuki wa Doko ni Kimi no Mune ni. And we also had Moment Ring. We had Maitete Ai no Uta. Butcher that. Coming actually was not even on the list, moving up a whole about 70 spots here. I was not expecting that song to make it on this list, but apparently Asian people seem to like that song a lot. We had Sing a Smile doing pretty well here over the Next Rainbow, moving up a good amount here. And then we had Toriko Please. Oh my god, someone actually got this on this list, thank goodness. So that song does really well here, moving up about 60 places here, and actually get on the list, which just barely missed the cut. And then lastly, we have European countries. So the first thing that comes up on here is Water Blue New World, moving up a whole 17 places, jumping all to 5th. That is a pretty good for that song to get all the way into 5th place. So apparently Europeans seem to really like that song. We also have Dancing Stars on Me, which honestly I think it's kind of a shame that it only got 66th place, but 18 is a little bit more appropriate for that song, at least in my opinion. And then we have Bokura Life, Kyun no Life moving up a good amount here. We also have Mermaid Festa Volume 1 moving up all the way to 30. We have Zurui Yo Magnetic Today moving up to 34, so people in Europe seem to like that song a lot more. And then we have Hajimari Road doing also a lot better. We have Sekai moving up 55 places here. Apparently Europeans seem to really dig that song. And then we lastly have Shadow Gate to Love at 82. So as you can see, a lot of these songs have moved up a lot of different places here. One of the biggest increases I think was Kiseki Hikaru, which that's about 70 something places. We also have Maitete Ai no Uta, so a lot of the Asians seem to have a pretty different view on certain songs here. And if you just want to go by placing wise, one of the biggest differences seem to be those songs. And of course, Simulation doesn't do as well for the younger people, so yeah, you can see some trends here. So I thought it was pretty interesting to take a look at this. If you want to see this in yourself, of course you can go into the Google Drive sheet. It's gonna have it there as well. So I thought this is cool, and of course in the future we can do more stuff like this. So of course I'm gonna give credit to the people who wish to be credited, who participated in this poll thank you to all those people who participated in this poll, especially the people with all directions, because a few people didn't. Oh well, it sucks to be them, I guess. So I had to manually fix those, but whatever, that's fine. Anyways, a lot of you guys commented, and I do appreciate all your comments, especially some of you guys are really appreciative that I keep making polls. So of course I love doing it, and I like seeing how people have different views and seeing how we got certain songs. Like some people said the Paradox songs are underrated. Yes, mainly because people don't know what they are. A lot of people love certain songs, and then occasionally some people would explain every single song, which is really nice to see why some people think of certain different ways, and then some people just tell me this. So there are a lot of variety of different comments here, people explaining why they didn't like certain songs or something like that, and someone apparently agreed with my list, so I don't even know if I agree with my list anymore, but it's good to see that. And then this person went really hard with their explanation, so if you want a big explanation about certain songs here, go ahead and read this one. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, thank you to all who commented, and especially the people who say they really enjoy this kind of content. I am glad you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll be able to make more of this in the future. So of course some of you might be interested in some of the polls. So like the one I just have done before, which I used to do this video, I have created a new one for you guys to vote in if you're interested in that as well. This time I'm gonna try to reopen it again, and this time I'm gonna go to top 25 because I've asked my subscribers as well as some viewers what they wanted. I thought 10 might not be enough, and they decided 25 seems to be a good number. So the first section is the demographics. This is where you would get your name if you want credit, as well as help me figure out what part of the demographic do you fit in. So for me example, I can go ahead and say I'm here and here and here. And then the next section is the one you're interested in. Again, demographics are not mandatory, but it would be nice if you were to put that in there. But again, you don't have to if you are not comfortable with giving out that information. And the second section I have put here, so I highly do recommend taking a listen to a lot of these songs. These are hyperlinks here that you can go and click, and they'll give you a list of all songs from Muse, Akawa's, Nijigaku, as well as Arise and Saint Snow. If you are unfamiliar with the songs, I do recommend take a look, and just even if you think you know all the songs, I think it's just at least it's very helpful to have all the songs listed in front of you to help remind you of what songs you think that deserve to be in your top 25. And often enough, even I do forget them, so I do think this is going to be helpful for you. So go ahead and click on those links. You can also listen to some of the songs here, so let's click on this one for example. So this is just going to give you a list of all the songs done by Muse. If you're like, what is this song? I never heard of this. You can go ahead and click on it, and you can go ahead and listen it right here. It will work as long as you're not on a browser like Safari. So if you want to be able to listen to the song again, because you might not remember if this deserves to be in your list or not, give it a shot. This will be available for all songs. And then this is the rating system I'm going to use this time, since there are 25 songs with a point system. May or may not change it later, but I think this is a decent idea. And then here you can go and pick a song. So for example, I'm going to type in Boku to jump to Boku Tachi wa Hitosu. The top 5 places are mandatory for you to do in this poll, because I at least want people to participate. I do really want you to have all 25 in there though at minimum. That's the hope here, but I only will force you to do 5 if you really don't want to do it. And make sure you don't duplicate places, so don't put this song for like 2 of them or whatever. Again, I don't want that. I will have to remove that if you do that. And once you are done, can go ahead and hit submit, and your comments if you wanted to tell me some kind of stuff. So that's more or less how this poll works. Now I'm also going to create another poll, which I will not plan on closing ever, is the rank every Love Live song. So some people were saying, well, why don't we just do a system where you have people rank every Love Live song? Well, that's a lot of work, and that's true. So this time I'm having a system where you can rank from 0 through 100, for 100 more or less being kind of like that perfect song. Well, getting less than 60 means you're a pretty bad song. Think about the school system like the 8 through F kind of deal, where F is, really bad, and, that's around the 60-ish%. So then I will have all the songs. So I haven't added these songs yet because they haven't been released. I will add them as songs come up, and once they've released a few days after, by the time people have a decent idea of what they feel about the song, then I can add it to this list. I'll try to keep updating it, and my goal is to not close this ever. So this just can be a continuing non-stop running kind of poll where I can get a good average of a bunch of songs. So no song is required for you to vote for, but if there's a song you want to vote for or songs that you don't want to vote for, that's fine. And for example, you go in here and you think, oh, I like the song a lot, so it gets a 90 or something like that. Don't try to get songs less than 60. I don't think there's any song that really deserves like 0 or even up older to 30s, but I know some will. And not every song is 100. Again, try to scale it in a way that makes sense. Don't be giving all songs 100s or 90s because not every song is that amazing. So, so I had album covers for a few days, but it started getting really laggy for me, and potentially for you it might get really laggy too. So if you can, try to do it on a computer if it's not working so well on your phone, but you can rank any song you want. And if you are really staring and really bored, you can go ahead and do all of them. I don't know if I would recommend that, but if you do, I'll probably give you a personal shout out with your name as long as it's appropriate. If you do spend all that effort and just don't give me only 0s and 100s. If you are willing to do that, that would be really great. I would really appreciate that. And as new songs come up, I will plan on adding it. So you can guys go ahead and vote it for both polls, and we'll see how those results turn out. There's also demographics for this one that's in the second section. So do as many songs as you want. You can always come back to either poll as long as they are open. This one should be open up for, I don't know, as long as I want it to, I guess. But this one should stay open for ideally forever, I don't know. So we can get a good average of what people think about song, every individual song. I know some people won't do every song because that's ridiculous. I won't even do that, but I think it's a good way to get a full view of it. But the other one is a quicker, easier, and better way, I would guess, for most people, because they don't have to literally rate every single song. But, it's up to you to do if you want to do either of them. I do appreciate it if you participate in either of them. And, if you want credit, go ahead and do that. So both of them will be, I'll have the links in them in the description below. And hopefully you can get other people to join them as well. Of course, I would really appreciate that if you would get your friends to do this as well. And we'll have to see how that goes. And soon, I'll try to add these songs, so you can always come back to this one later. Eventually, these songs should be added. But yeah, so that's more or less what I want to say about these two polls. Hopefully, this list helps out the people who are newer to Love Live to see what people tend to like when it comes to Love Live songs. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. I might make more of these in the future. I don't want to constantly keep making this, but there are more songs coming out, so I do want to update this as newer songs come out, so we can keep people informed on what songs people tend to like, and some newer songs that are coming out. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I do appreciate all of you guys who watched this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What songs were too high, what songs were too low, and also let other people know what songs are underrated, what songs should have been on this list, and why should they listen to it. Should they listen to Gaia Fate Paradox songs? Should they listen to Jingle Bells Got Night even though it's a holiday song? I think so. And of course, if you want my personal recommendations, there's my top 150. Yes, it's a little bit out of date, and yes, even my list has changed since then, but if you want to know what songs that I kind of like, that's a good starting point. Anyways, let me know, guys, what do you think in the comments below. What songs are too low, what songs are too high, what songs should our people listen to, and why is that? Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.